At it again, and we've got to talk about this today because it's a major problem. It is a major issue. It is not the first time that I've touched on it, but like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And before we get into it, I do want to say this before we jump in. First off, thank you guys for being understanding, right? And listening to my point of view on things. I know we don't always agree on everything. And I'm sure we aren't all going to agree today. Today is one of those days, or this video is one of those videos where we all aren't going to agree. But I appreciate you guys sticking around and leaving your thoughts and your opinions whenever this does happen. Because this has happened before. And I read through the comment section and a lot of you agreed. Okay, an overwhelming number of you agreed, but then some of you also disagreed and, stated as to why you disagreed. And I respect that. And I appreciate that. But today we have to talk about abortion. Yes. The divisive issue of this country, or in this country right now currently, because we had some elections happen recently that didn't go the way that we expected them to go. And I've touched on this before, where I believe Trump is playing chess, not checkers, with this issue. And I'm going to play this clip for you guys to, so you guys can remember exactly what happened. And then I'm going to jump into it as to why I believe this is happening. But check this out.
And you're going to have something where everybody comes together.
Does it bother you, though, that women say their lives are being put at risk? Do you feel you bear any responsibility? Because, as you say, you are responsible.
What's going to happen, this is an issue that's been going on for a long time, and it's a very polarizing issue. Because of what's been done, and because of the fact we brought it back to the states, we're going to have people come together on this issue. They're going to determine the time, because nobody wants to see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Nobody wants to see abortions when you have a baby in the womb. I said with Hillary Clinton when we had the debate, I made a statement, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month. You're allowed to do that, and you shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Again, no one is arguing for that. That's not a part of anyone's platform, Mr. President.
The Democrats are able to kill the baby after birth.
Let me talk to you.
Nobody wants that.
Democrats don't want that
So
either.
we're going to come together.
I want to know what you want. I want to know what you're going to do if you're reelected.
We are going to come together.
Would you sign federal legislation that would ban abortion at 15 weeks?
No. Let me just tell you what I do. I'm going to come together with all groups, and we're going to have something that's acceptable. Right now, to my way of thinking, the Democrats are the radicals, because after 4 and 5 and 6 months, but you have to say this, after birth. You have New York State and other places that pass legislation where you're allowed to kill the baby after birth.
Mr. President, I want to give voters who are going to be weighing in on this election a very clear sense of where you stand on this.
I think they're all going to like me. I think both sides are going to like me.
What's
going to have to happen is you're going to have to listen. You're asking me a question. What's going to happen is you're going to come up with a number of weeks or months. You're going to come up with a number that's going to make people happy, because 92% of the Democrats don't want to see abortion after a certain period of time.
If a federal ban landed on your desk, if you were reelected, would you sign it at 15
weeks? Are you
weeks?
talking about a complete ban?
A ban at 15 weeks.
Well, people are starting to think of 15 weeks. That seems to be a number that people are talking about right now.
Would you sign that?
I would sit down with both sides and I'd negotiate something, and we'll end up with peace on that issue for the first time in 52 years.
So yeah, that continues on for like another few minutes, the whole back and forth, Trump being strategic and not saying yes on anything. And if you guys remember, and I can tell you the exact day because I pulled it up before this video started because I wanted to try to remember. So about 48 days ago on September 21st, I made a video where the title, or in the thumbnail, it said, "It's a game of chess, not checkers." Okay. And it was a response video to some individuals, and goodness gracious, I'll name one of the people because I don't like to name names because I'm not with all the drama and the beef and whatnot, and I know how things can get twisted, and so I'll say this. When I name this individual, this isn't beef. This isn't me personally attacking this individual. This isn't no drama, but I do feel like I have to address it. Because this individual said something before, and I felt like I had to respond to it on, what was that date? September 21st, okay? Matt Walsh came out and said that we didn't lose because of the abortion issue. And previously, he said that Trump was a terrible person, and somebody else did, because Trump didn't come out with a strong stance on the abortion issue. And what I'm saying is you can't win on the abortion issue. That's just not where we are in this country. I agree. Abortion isn't great. It's a bad thing. We shouldn't be just ripping kids out. So I want to make that clear as well. I probably should have said that at the very beginning of this video. Abortion is bad. But that doesn't mean everybody else in this country agrees with us. And I mean, look at a place like Ohio, right? Who, kind of flips back and forth, but most of us see Ohio as a red state. Well, Ohio had abortion on the ballot. You know what happened in Ohio? I don't even have to tell you. Check it out.
Hot off the presses, our decision desk has just made a call in Ohio on issue 1, and we project that it will pass. Yes, on issue 1 will pass, putting the right to abortion in the state constitution in Ohio, with the provision that restrictions can be applied after the point of fetal viability, about 22, 24 weeks. But you can see right now we've got more than a third of the vote in here in Ohio on this. It is leading. Yes is leading by about 17 points right now. And as I was just showing folks on Chris's show a few minutes ago, what's happening now is counties are reporting out, are getting close to or hitting 100% of their vote. And what we're seeing is there was this test vote this summer where opponents of this put language on the ballot that it said he'd raise the threshold to 60% for a constitutional amendment. It was an attempt to defeat this. That went down to defeat this summer, and we're seeing in every county that's completing, we're seeing results that are basically a mirror image of this summer. The folks who were against raising the threshold this summer are voting for this tonight in basically equal numbers in the completed counties. So that this summer, that proposal to raise the threshold lost 57-43. This thing is right now on track to land right in that territory. So that is the NBC News projection that this is going to carry. And you can see based on the completed counties that we've had so far, it could be by a pretty healthy margin.
The voters got asked, do you want this or not? You see the result. Do you want the right to abortion or not? You see the result. Now, does it suck? Yeah, it does. But let me tell you something. What's more important, dying on your moral hill or actually putting yourself in position to make a change? What's more important? Because I just I'm new to politics. I admit that, right? But this is as clear as day to me, in my humble opinion. This is as clear as day. You will not win on the abortion issue. And my argument is that you're actually doing more harm by making that an argument than any good that you could possibly be doing. And I know some of you are like, wait, what? How are you doing more harm than good by, standing up for the children of this world? I'll tell you how. Because if you die on your moral hill for abortion, you are in no position to actually make a change. Yeah, sure, you can stand on the street corner and wave a sign and, have your megaphone, and that's great and all. That's fantastic, right? Sincerely, it really is. I'm not knocking those folks. But let's be real here. Let's be realistic about this. How many lives are you actually going to change with that method? Realistically, let's be real about it. It's great. It's fantastic. It's the Lord's work. We can all clap for that. Absolutely. 100%. But how many lives are you actually going to change with that method? Not many. I'll give you 10. And I feel like I'm being generous with 10. Okay? But how many lives can you change by saying, you know what? We'll negotiate. I'm not going to push for anything that my constituents aren't for. I'll let the people of this country decide. Then you get into a position of power, a political position, obviously. Then you re-educate people on what abortion actually is. From the top. Your president, Trump, your Senate, your Congress, re-educates America on what abortion actually is and the problems that can come from abortion and how precious a child's life actually is. You re-educate people. Then you present the question to them again. How about that? But if you die on your moral hill, you will never get the chance to do it. Now what? Oh yeah, I'm going to make a stance on abortion. I'm planting my flag. Okay, well, you're never going to be in office. So now Democrats get to run amok and get to have abortion whenever they want to, and there's not a darn thing that you can do about it. But you know when you can do something about it? When you're in a position to do something about it. And you can't get in that position by planting your flag on it. I'm sorry. That just is what it is. It just is what it is. I mean, look Kentucky. Check this out.
Our decision desk has now made it official, and they are comfortable declaring that Andy Beshear, the Democratic incumbent governor of Kentucky, has been reelected, that he will defeat his Republican challenger, the sitting attorney general, Daniel Cameron. We've been, no surprise if you've been watching all night, we've been seeing county after county.
And some people may ask, I don't need to watch the whole thing, okay? Some people may ask, yo, Rich, so why'd you show us that? Like, we knew Daniel Cameron was going to lose. You know, he was behind in the polls, blah, blah. He was actually creeping up. That's one thing. But, you know, he was behind in the polls most of the time, right? But, you know, one of the things that I found out about Daniel Cameron, because I was trying to figure this out, too, myself. Because I'm like, man, Kentucky? Come on, Kentucky. Let's go, baby. Come on, Kentucky. This is one of the things that I kept coming across. The Kentucky Court of Appeals has granted Republican AG Daniel Cameron's motion for emergency relief, giving him the go-ahead to enforce Kentucky's trigger law banning abortion, as well as a 6-week ban. This means nearly all abortion in Kentucky will stop immediately for the time being. See the commonality? Do you see the common denominator there? Abortion. And you can't tell me, oh, well, abortion isn't the issue. Republicans are winning on every other issue. The issue, you name it, immigration. We all know Republicans have the W in that. Inflation, crime. You name the issue and Republicans are winning. They're winning. Except for that one issue. And time after time after time after time, I'm watching Republicans lose, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. This is ridiculous. We should not be losing to these folks. We should not be losing. Period. It's one thing. It's one reason why we are losing. And we're dying on this. We're dying on this moral hill because of morals. And some people may, oh, Rich, well, you know, you should have some morals, brother, and stand up. I am standing up. Why don't everybody else stand up? You can't win this way. You can't affect change this way. You could say, oh, yeah, well, you should stand up for the kids. That means nothing if you aren't in a position to actually save them. If you're on a random deserted island in the middle of the ocean, you can yell and scream about saving kids all you want to. But how in the world are you going to save them with no way to actually get to them to save them? That's where Republicans are at this point. Republicans are on a deserted island in the middle of the effing ocean, yelling and screaming, oh, let's save the kids, let's save the kids. You can't save them because you can't get to them. You have to be in a position to actually save them. And in order to do that, you have to win elections. It's common sense to me.
Okay, good morning, family. It was a big upset for the governor there. Not only did he lose the House, but they were not able to flip the Senate. Let's look at the map right here. You got Democrats at 51 to the Republicans 47. And when you go over to the House, can we switch? Okay. And then you got 21 Democrats there in the Senate, and then 17 Republicans in the Senate there. The big upset was one thing particular. When it comes to abortion, Republicans just weren't able to rally.
So you saw that there. I'm gonna stop. I'm sure you guys can see I'm passionate about this. I don't just do this just to do it just because I'm having fun doing it. I do this because I want to win. I want to see Republicans win. Okay? Y'all know I'm the biggest Trump fan there is. I am unapologetically Trump, right? Y'all know this through and through. Okay, so I want to see Republicans win, true Republicans, conservative Republicans. I want to see Republicans win, but I see the writing on the wall, and so does Trump. And this is why I said a while back that I feel like Trump is playing chess, not checkers. Watch all of his interviews that he's done up until today. He hasn't given Democrats any ammo. After his interviews, Democrats have nothing to go back and say, oh, look, guys, this is what Trump said. Look, rally the troops. Come on, guys. He hasn't given them anything. And this is another thing, right? Look at the top two people in the Republican primary, Nikki Haley and Trump. You know the common denominator between the two of them? They both moderated on the abortion issue. Yeah. So it's not a secret at this point what is happening. People can say all they want to. Yeah, it's a bad thing, and I agree. But the truth is you can't win running on that. So what's more important to you? Shouting at the top of your lungs that it's a bad thing, or actually being in a position to affect change and save some kids' lives? To me, it's clearly obvious. Forget talking about it. I want to be about it. Forget talking. I want action. Talk is cheap. Y'all know the old saying, talk is cheap. You can do all this all you want to, but if you can't actually put some action behind it, it means nothing. And unless you're in office, you can't put any action behind that. Therefore, you're actually costing more lives in the long run. You're putting more children at risk in the long run. I mean, bro, Trump is running a fantastic campaign at this point. He saw it from a long time ago. I am not going to win with this issue. Not now. Maybe in 3 years, another 2 years, maybe in the next midterms, right? Maybe then we can win. Maybe in 2028 we can win. But right now, this is not where the country is currently. And I need to be in a position to where I can actually affect that change rather than being a distant voice who's banished and, you know what I mean? Like, I think the choice is so obvious here, guys. Republicans need to follow Trump in his stance on the abortion issue. Republicans all need to come out and say something along the lines of, because you have to tiptoe a little bit here, because there are going to be some people who are just not going to get behind it no matter what. And I personally don't believe those people are true Republicans. I really don't. And I explain why, because you're putting more lives at risk, in my humble opinion, by talking about it. I care about action. Words mean nothing unless there's actions put behind them. Somebody can say, oh yeah, I'm gonna punch you in the face. But if they don't actually do it, then it means nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all get what I mean. So Republicans need to say something along the lines of, while I am disappointed, the people of this country have spoken. I can't agree to anything that my constituents won't agree to. I am for the people, and I will always represent the people. And the people have spoken. That's all you need to say. So you state your opinion. I don't agree with it, right? But the people have spoken. So you take away the whole democracy issue as well from Democrats. But then you also take away the big one, abortion, at the exact same time. And you know what happens then? The red wave that we have been begging for, that we have been so desperate for. I know I've been desperate to see it. There you go. There's the key to win. Y'all let me know your thoughts, your opinions on this in the comment section below. I apologize for yelling, but I'm just passionate about this, man. And I'm tired of watching us lose when we shouldn't be losing. We're winning on everything. Everything. Look at the polling. We're winning on every single issue except for one, abortion. And some people could say, yeah, the messaging needs to change. Republicans need to have better messaging on abortion. And yeah, that's true. But is it a good idea to, stress test? Because Republicans don't have a great message on abortion as of yet, clearly. And I don't think it's a great idea to stress test that during a big election like 2024. Stress test that later. Don't stress test it now, because you got to stress test the messaging to make sure the messaging actually hits. You don't know unless you try it. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not willing to gamble on 2020. I would rather sit back and say, you know what, the people have spoken on that issue for now, and try to and win and get in office in 2024 and re-educate the country leading up to the midterms, right? And then maybe stress test the message in the midterms or in the 2028 election. And the whole time, just re-educate the country on abortion and what it actually is, and the drawbacks, and the wonderful children who could have, re-educate the country. That's how you win. In my opinion, of course. Y'all let me know what you thought about it. Peace and love, family. I'm out.